GagePromar, This video is going to cover 5 bad exercises for sciatica. What makes an exercise bad for sciatica? There's 2 things. 1, it puts compression load through the disc repetitively and with load. And then 2, it puts tension through the sciatic nerve. Both of those things are going to make your sciatic symptoms worse. So we want to avoid exercises that do that, and that's what we're going to look at today. So sit-ups, full-on sit-ups, great core exercise, but you're going to get a lot of repetitive flexion through the lumbar spine. That's going to bug the disc, and it can really bug sciatic symptoms. So, just a traditional full sit-up where you're coming all the way up, and it's this part here where you get that flexion. And you're just going back and forth and flex, flex. That is going to bother your sciatic symptoms, undoubtedly. Don't do full sit-ups. It's that simple. Don't do them. If you have sciatica, or just if you have lower back pain in general, don't do full sit-ups. The second one, hamstring stretches. So a lot of times when people have sciatica, they feel like they need to stretch their hamstrings, or they need to stretch the nerve out. And this can be counterintuitive because sometimes people can get some pain relief for a short period, and so they say, oh man, that helped, it felt better for a little while, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes, but then the pain comes back. The reason you might get, and it doesn't always work that way, sometimes you can do the hamstring stretches and it just flares the sciatica up and makes it a lot worse. But even if you get relief with a hamstring stretch and you're like, man, I need to do that, don't. And the reason being is because it's literally just going to put tension on that nerve, and that nerve does not tolerate tension when it's flared up and you have sciatica. The reason that you may get relief is because you're stimulating the stretch receptors in the muscle spindle. That does give you some short-term pain relief, but it's not helping you in the long term. So if you have sciatica, don't be doing traditional hamstring stretches where you're putting a lot of tension through the nerve, you're flexed through the spine. Just don't do it, even if it gives you pain relief. It's a bad exercise to do if you have sciatic symptoms, so don't stretch your hamstrings. And that's the sitting version, but the standing version, the single leg version, all that stuff. Don't stretch your hamstrings when you're going through a bout of sciatica. Don't do it. Okay, the next exercise we're going to look at is the leg press. So you're in a gym, there's different types of leg press machines. There's the ones where you're seated like this and then you're coming back and pressing. There's also the ones where you're a little more reclined and you're coming back and pressing. The leg press is a great exercise for the legs. It does work the quads really well. But what happens with the leg press is your legs come back and your hips flex through their full range, you're going to get flexion through your lumbar spine. That compresses the disc, and then on top of that, you're flexing the lumbar spine under load, resistance. That puts more compression through the disc. That's only going to aggravate any type of herniated disc issue that's causing sciatica. So don't do leg presses while you have sciatica. The last exercise that we're going to look at is, well, we have 2 more. We have cable crunches and the stiff leg deadlift. So cable crunches, you see these people doing these in the gym all the time. You got your cable machine and you've got a rope or whatever, and you're crunching, crunching, crunching. Yeah, hammers your abs, great abdominal exercise, but you're literally just repetitively flexing your lumbar spine with load. Again, just like these other movements, you're going to compress the disc. That aggravates any type of disc herniation. That's going to aggravate the sciatica. Don't do cable crunches. The last one is the stiff leg deadlift. So you see a lot of people wanting to do stiff leg deadlifts. Most people don't do stiff leg deadlifts right. They keep their legs stiff, but they round through their lumbar spine. Plus then they've got their dumbbells or their barbell here. That, again, you're getting that repetitive lumbar flexion with load, and that's going to aggravate the disc. It's going to aggravate the sciatic symptoms. If you do it perfect, you might be able to get away with it, but I very seldom see people that are doing stiff leg deadlifts, straight leg deadlifts, whatever you want to call them, perfect. Most people, the majority of people I see doing them, are getting too much lumbar flexion. So just stay away from them, because everybody thinks they do them perfect. You probably think you're doing it perfect, but if you're not, you're going to aggravate the disc, aggravate the sciatica. So those are 5 bad exercises to do if you have sciatica. Just don't do them and you'll be better off.